Our trip begins in Ambon, the capital of the Moluccas archipelago in Indonesia. In the 16th and 17th century, the Moluccas were well known throughout the Western world. This region was so rich in exotic spices that the Europeans were fighting to control it. A spice as familiar to us as cloves sold for more than its weight in gold. Magellan claimed the Spice Islands for the Spanish crown in 1521. Then the Dutch battled the British for control. Later the Japanese invaded in World War II, and today the Moluccas are a province of Indonesia. Belgian ethnographer Jean-Pierre Dutilleux hopes to be the first to film an ancient tribe on one of the archipelago's islands. The Masuane are reputed to be shaman and headhunters.
As we approach Ceram, my thoughts turn to the Masuane. Will we find them? Are they headhunters, as the legends say? And if these ancient tribal people do exist, will they meet with us and let me record on film their way of life, or hide in the jungle?
It took Dutilleux's advance man 2 months to get the film permits, and now they face a 20-hour body-pounding trip by small boat to the backside of the island. Their excitement builds as the team enters Tremonti, where they'll make their final preparations. Porters are hired. Their supplies have been carefully packed. Jean-Pierre double-checks his maps as the team rests and waits out the storm. The time for preparation ends and the expedition is about to begin. Ceram's interior will be difficult to reach. A road becomes a trail that turns into a path that disappears in dense jungle.
The Masuane are the most isolated subgroup of the Alfuro tribe. Despite my research, I haven't been able to find anything written about the Masuane. They only exist in the stories told by other tribes in the region. Tales of Masuane shaman, medicine men, describe their ability to transform into bats, cure the sick and physically disappear as their spirit guides their people safely through the forest.
A few hours later, they approach the first Alfuro village.
They meet our smiles with quiet curiosity. As the drums begin to speak their deep meaning, a totem dances in the rafters, as giving permission to the women to move to the rhythm of the music. The village headman offers a mixture of mythology, magic and sound advice by telling us the location of the most powerful shaman in the area and warns us to be suspicious of their powers. As we move on, I can't help but remember the headman telling us about the shaman with the power to kill his enemies with a simple ritual, and another that can keep unwanted visitors away from his village by magically creating trails in the forest that circle to nowhere. He spoke of tribes that practice headhunting. They bless every new marriage by placing fresh heads under the houses of the newlyweds. I hope no weddings are planned during our visit.
Nothing pleases Papasuto, the government-appointed guide. He worries about the coming rain, the lack of supplies, and the accuracy of the maps. Dutilleux realizes that his guide is not going to work out. He makes the decision that the expedition will continue without him. A new day brings Jean-Pierre and his team to another village. It is critical that they find interpreters who can speak the different dialects in the region. Their success, as well as their safety, will depend on it. Dutilleux, believing that he's found the interpreters he's looking for, sends an advance team ahead to make contact with the Masuane. With luck, they'll agree to meet with him.
It's the 4th day. If the village headman was right, the Masuane will be found on that distant mountain. They could be anywhere. Or nowhere. I pick a spot and establish our base camp. The only thing we can do now is wait. One of my guides has returned with a depressing message. The Masuane left a piece of rope with a knot. It means they have refused the contact. I'm disappointed, but at least we know for sure they're out there. I can't believe my eyes. Here they come.
Jean-Pierre brings mirrors and tobacco as gifts.
The apprehension on the faces of the women and children are obvious.
We come from very far away to meet with them.
We are in luck. One of our porters understands their dialect. He's doing everything he can to reassure them and convey our peaceful intentions. Their mood lightens. The porter manages to calm them down and soon we are introduced.
Lohia. Makalili. Mulu asili. Lisa Puti. Ohai Chile. Tema Hawe. Oranite, Tema Mawe. Anga Hasuka.
Just when we're making progress, they turn and leave before we have a chance to learn anything more than their names.
Moments later, a second group appears.
They are obviously afraid of us. Maybe they think that we are the magicians, but I know they are Masuane headhunters because of the red turban.
Kasih ini bel untuk sakit. Chapati dan something. Yeah. So they're going to go make a camp? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yes, me foto uhayan.
Never. Belum pernah.
Belum.
Never seen the white man before.
Ani Portugis. Ya pokok.
Down.
Yeah.
That's a woman because
Yeah.
she one time. No, I never had rice.
They have to set up camp before nightfall. I'm not sure they will return.
We should take some food for them.
A violent storm destroyed my camp during the night. The Masuane have disappeared.
By midday, a third group strides out of the jungle. One of Jean-Pierre's guides leads a frightened tribesman out of the forest. Their confident strides become tentative steps. Jean-Pierre's group doesn't make a move. Like hunters, The Masuane circle Jean-Pierre rather than approach him directly.
Their eyes dart from me to the ground and back to me. The men wear a bark loincloth. The women wear bark skirts. The boy, not yet recognized as a man, covers himself with his hand. The children wear nothing at all. I have been visiting tribal people in every corner of the world for more than 25 years, and I have never seen such a unique handshake. They extend their hand over or under the arm without making eye contact. They all use the same technique. I take care not to stare. It might be seen as disrespectful or a sign of aggression. I can only guess that their unusual handshake is a sign of respect rather than fear.
Jean-Pierre begins to learn the names of this Masuane tribe.
Alamat. Alamat.
The next day, in exchange for a treasured piece of red cloth, the Masuane agree to lead Jean-Pierre into the jungle.
This is the finest gift of all because it is their favorite color, the color of blood.
This is the first time anyone has filmed the Masuane people. Here, in the virgin forest, they are setting up camp just as their ancestors have done for thousands of years. This is how we live in the forest. It's always been this way.
I am the shaman here, and I am going to show you how I will cure the sick. With the shaking of the floor in my voice, I will attract the spirits that only I can see.
While Western medicine speaks about plants and animals, the Masuane believe that their medicine man, Nisabuti, has the power to speak to plants and animals. Like all shamans, Nisabuti derives his power from nature. The Masuane believe they become ill because they're out of sync or out of favor with the forest. They are cured when their shaman brings them back into balance with nature. Nature provides the Masuane with a never-ending source of natural technology. Aifua wove this fish trap in a matter of minutes. Once the fish swim in, they can generate the power to swim back out against the flow of the river.
The impact of foragers on the forest is relatively insignificant because of their small numbers. The sago palm is one of the Masuane's most important sources of food. This one's about 15 years old and mature enough to cut. Once the sago's down and the bark is removed, the Masuane share more of their natural technology with Jean-Pierre.
There are no hardware stores in the jungle, so Ipo creates a hardwood wedge and maul from another tree species to split the trunk and get to the nourishing hardwood of the palm. The sago is a major source of dietary starch for these non-farming people. It gives them 3 times as many calories as any other forest plant, based on the amount of time it takes to collect it. It takes only 10 days to cut and process 600 pounds of sago, which is enough to satisfy the needs of an adult for an entire year. A simple basket is made from the leaves of the sago. It's beautiful, functional, and free. The Masuane use every part of the palm. Nothing is wasted. The bark is used to build the flooring and walls of their huts. The rain-proof leaves are used to construct the roof. The smaller leaves are used to weave robe, baskets and backpacks. They build a trough to separate the sago starch from the pith or fibrous part of the palm. As the slurry settles, a sticky broth drops to the bottom. It's ready to be collected by Alawa and her granddaughter Sinaito. The red cloth made quite an impression on the Masuane. Alawa turned it into a skirt. A section of bamboo becomes a simple ball, perfect for a slow boil, without burning. The sago can be cooked into pancakes and stored for a long period of time, or boiled into a toffee-thick broth. The Masuane teach us that life is about living in cooperation with nature. To the Masuane, all that is known is family and forest. The real aspirations of these ancient tribal people aren't being taken into consideration by the Indonesian government. This forest is their world, their entire world, and their world is being sacrificed. To the Indonesian government, the trees standing in the forest are useless. The government is determined to search out the Masuane and their neighbors. They are determined, in fact, to search out every last tribal group in the area. They want to integrate the last of the Masuane with any surrounding ethnic labor to log the forest and convert it into rice paddies, profits of a people. The Masuane have lived free in this forest for thousands of years, despite Arab, French, English, Dutch and Japanese occupations of their island. This mad rush for short-term profit is destroying the Masuane in one of our planet's richest and most beautiful environments. Only education and public awareness will lead to the preservation of enough native forests to support these wonderful people and their ancient traditions.